Major decisions from the Supreme Court.
That all of us who are born on American soil are citizens alike.
The latest from Caplin's D.C. Bureau. The World Cup impact on the local economy.
Our sales are up 60% from a regular time in June and July.
Proving to be more than just a game. And inside the walls of a Miami Youth Leadership Program.
It's really powerful seeing students when they find their voice.
These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Zipporah Hayes.
I'm Ana Valentina Rodriguez. Today is Wednesday, July 1st, 2026.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
The Supreme Court handing down some major rulings, including one upholding birthright citizenship. In a long-awaited decision, the Supreme Court is backing the constitutional amendment on birthright citizenship.
Caplin's Danette Heredia has more from the nation's capital.
Right behind me, the Supreme Court shut down President Trump's attempt to end birthright citizenship. The court found that children born in the U.S. meet what the Constitution says about the issue, that just about anyone born on U.S. soil is automatically a U.S. citizen. Cecilia Wang from the American Civil Liberties Union shares the importance of this decision.
Reaffirms one of the fundamental pillars of American life, that all of us who are born on American soil are citizens alike.
Trump had issued an executive order shortly after taking office that birthright citizenship should only apply to those born to U.S. citizens. 3 justices agreed with him, saying that the 14th Amendment clause was meant just for former slaves and not current-day immigrants. Justice Samuel Alito called the ruling, quote, a serious mistake. And House Speaker Mike Johnson said he was disappointed with the High Court ruling.
It's one of those things that was intended to serve a noble and important purpose and has been thwarted and overused and abused.
Even though Speaker Johnson commented, there is currently no plans in Congress to take up this issue. Reporting from the Supreme Court for Caplin News, I'm Danette Heredia.
The Villages here in Florida is home to an Abraham Lincoln statue this morning after an unveiling by Governor DeSantis. The governor visited the community near Orlando yesterday for the unveiling. It's part of an event to mark America 250. DeSantis called it an opportunity to reflect on the nation's history and the achievements of the past 250 years.
He's really an example of being able to persevere and overcome a lot of obstacles that are put in your way.
DeSantis says more statues of prominent American historical figures are planned across Florida, especially in counties named after the Founding Fathers.
After much history, the historic Olympia Theater in downtown Miami is changing. Caplin's Taylor DeLauro has more.
The Olympia Theater in downtown Miami marked its 100th anniversary in 2025, and now the historic venue is entering a new chapter. The city of Miami agreed to transfer ownership to Slam Academy, who pledged $50 million in renovations and refurbishment. While the deal aims to preserve the building, it's also raising questions about access, oversight, and the future of the space.
For many, the change feels personal. Milton Granadillo is a Venezuelan stand-up comedian who has performed at the Olympia for years.
I am semi-hopeful for this new management, but it's fair to say that I'm still doubtful because I feel like it's a historic theater that hasn't got the proper respect in the last decade or so.
As Miami continues to balance growth with preservation, the future of spaces like the Olympia may set the tone for what the city chooses to value. Culture as a living force or culture as something to be managed. City leaders argue the agreement preserves the Olympia structure and keeps it active while adapting to the city's evolving needs. One of the people behind this decision is Miami City Commissioner Ralph Rosado.
It's an exciting way to ensure that this cultural asset is restored and brought back to life. And we've got guardrails in the contract so that if they don't do it within 5 years, it actually reverts back to the city.
With renovations ahead, the focus now shifts to how the historic landmark will serve both education and the public in years to come. Reporting live from downtown Miami, Taylor DeLauro.
The Mosaic Miami organization holds a youth leadership camp each year, and this year Caplin's Hannah Spence went to check it out.
Summer camp usually means campfires and canoeing. But for the teenagers attending Camp Metrotown, it means addressing some of our time's most pressing issues.
Camp Metrotown brings together a diverse group of youth, whom they call delegates, to do things like develop leadership skills and build relationships across differences.
Oftentimes, when students arrive at the bus, they're very shy. They haven't yet found their voices, and on the last day of camp, they're crying because they didn't want to leave their friends. And It's really powerful seeing students when they find their voice for the first time, because it's electric.
The delegates participated in activities such as speaking with historian Marvin Dunn and putting together Culture Night, where they share traditions and experiences that shape who they are. Some delegates have siblings that attended the camp before they did, such as Ray Morajon. Ray shared that both he and his brother Oliver are transgender and that Oliver found solace at Camp Metrotown.
I think that being at Metrotown, I can already feel like how many people accept me, and I can just talk about my own identity freely. It doesn't feel like, you know, I'm going to get in trouble with my parents. It feels like I'm talking to friends who can fully support me. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And I hope that every kid just like me gets the opportunity to do something like that, which is why I love this camp so far.
Camp may be over for these delegates, but their work building a more inclusive community is just beginning. I'm Hannah Spence, reporting for Caplin News.
From Florida to New York to Florida once again. A missing dog is finally back home after traveling over 1,000 miles away. Meet rebellious 13-year-old Apollo, who in April ran away from his home in Ocala, Florida. He was finally reunited with his family after he was found at a police station in Rhode Island months later. His owner, Nicholas Josie, flew there Friday to bring him back. His family has no idea how he made it to New York, but it was a joyful reunion nonetheless.
As we wait for fireworks, is Mother Nature planning a water show?
Well, as we await the 4th of July celebration, Chase Albritton tells us what we should expect for the long weekend. Good morning, Chase.
Good morning. Well, we could be seeing some scattered storms across our area this weekend, but we'll get to that later in the segment. Currently, though, at Miami International Airport, we're seeing a temperature reading of 88 degrees, the dew points in the mid-70s, helping to raise the feels-like temperature up to 97 degrees. Likely see that number approach the triple digits later on today. Current temperatures across South Florida are mostly in the mid-80s, with Pembroke Pines and Kendall there at 86. Shifting further down south to the Florida Keys, Marathon and Key West are at 86 and 88 degrees respectively. Now, checking our live radar, things have been mostly quiet across South Florida with the exception of some showers out over the Atlantic, but that will likely change later on today. Now, in terms of the tropics, things have been quiet out there thanks to the Saharan dust moving across the main development region, so no tropical development is expected during the next 7 days. Now, for our future cast today, during the early afternoon hours, we may see some thunderstorms pop up over Miami-Dade County. Then this starts to expand quite a lot during the evening hours. Then as we get closer to sunset, a lot of the activity will be pushing off towards our west, and things should dry up significantly as we get into the overnight hours. Now, these numerous thunderstorms have prompted the Weather Prediction Center to issue a marginal risk of flooding for Broward and Miami-Dade counties. So if you're out driving, be sure to avoid flooded roads. Now, boaters, you can expect winds coming from the south at 5 knots, seas around 1 foot, and the waters will be smooth. Water temperature is quite warm at 90 degrees off Virginia Key, and the rip current threat is low. So normally it'd be a great day to go out to the beach, with the exception of those numerous thunderstorms. Again, a chance of rain at 70% and a high of 90 degrees. Tonight, expect temperatures to dip down to around 78 degrees and some isolated showers, a rain chance of 20%. And for tomorrow, we'll be right back up to 88 degrees as our high. Again, numerous thunderstorms and a rain chance of 60%. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the 4th of July forecast, what's it looking like? Well, we could be seeing some showers during the midday hours from around 10 in the morning to 4 in the evening. But that rain chance will start to taper off as we get later on in the evening and overnight hours when you go out to see the fireworks. It's going to be quite hot on the 4th, with heat indices likely reaching the triple digits all across our region, with Fort Lauderdale potentially feeling 103 degrees. The rain chances are going to be quite high as well, with them being around the 40 to 60% range across our area. The Keys will be slightly drier, with only around a 20 to 30% chance of seeing some drops that day. Now, piecing it all together for a 7-day forecast. Again, today and tomorrow we will see numerous thunderstorms. For the remainder of the week, we'll be seeing our typical summertime pattern of scattered thunderstorms each day, with a rain chance of around 40%. Regardless of the day, though, our highs will be in the upper 80s and our lows will be in the lower 80s. Now, let's toss it back to the anchors.
The World Cup continues to feature major upsets.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
Our sales are up 60% from a regular time in June and July.
The South Florida economy has been booming since the start of the World Cup. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
See us dream. See us remember. See us protest.
You matter. Your feelings matter. Your identity matters. Everything about who you are matters.
See us fight back. See us rebuild. See us shatter stereotypes. See us inspire. See us united. See us now.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
The World Cup keeps writing stories all over the country, and South Florida has been one of the epicenters of these conversations. With thousands of fans gathering from all over the world, Miami is still set to receive 4 more matches until the end of the tournament.
And as Caplin's Enzo Pasto reports, the impact that the city has received goes way beyond just ticket sales.
Since 2006, Fritz and Friends Beer House has been a local hotspot for World Cup watch parties. But during this year, a new component is making a huge difference.
We have seen that the people are more enthusiastic. They're coming 2 hours early before the game. They don't mind to pay admission charge to get in there.
As many people may already know, the World Cup has been an economic driver all over the country. But what difference does it really make for these local businesses to be situated in one of the host cities of the tournament?
And the restaurant owner and Austrian chef Harold Neuwig says that being in home turf has driven more fans to his business.
We have seen an impact in our sales. Our sales are up 60% from a regular time in June and July.
The 2026 World Cup has brought tourists from all over the planet, turning South Florida into a major sports hub for the 40-day tournament. And the city of Miami has been contributing from this phenomenon.
For the World Cup, I mean, we have a lot of games in South Florida. You know, we got picked to be a host city for a lot of games, and we have people coming for all those games, but not only for the games, but we have a fan fest that is full of people watching games that are not being played here. And it's just like brought all this like money and financial impact to our city when it comes to hospitality, when it comes to restaurants, when it comes to everything that, you know, people just can just take advantage of South Florida.
Miami is still set to receive 4 more games until the end of the tournament in July 19th. Until then, businesses like Fritz and Friends will make sure that all fans have a place to celebrate. For Caplin News, I'm Enzo Pasto.
And here are the latest of what has happened in the World Cup. Norway stole a 2-1 win against the Ivory Coast yesterday with another goal from Erling Haaland. Mbappe is now tied with Messi in the goal race as France beats Sweden in New Jersey. And Ecuador says goodbye to the tournament after a 2-0 loss to the co-host Mexico. The United States prepares for its first match of the knockout stage against Bosnia and Herzegovina today at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And the Argentinian star Lionel Messi will be at the 3:05 this Friday for their game against Cape Verde.
Last night in Denver, the Marlins defeated the Rockies for a franchise-best 20th win in the month of June. Javier Sanoja and Owen Casey both hit 3-run homers, while Joe Mack hit a 2-run homer. Yuri Perez gave up 1 run on 2 hits and recorded 8 strikeouts in 5 1/3 innings. The Marlins won the game 14-3. The 2 teams will face off in the 3rd game of the series tonight at 8:40 p.m.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Zipporah Hayes.
I'm Ana Valentina Rodriguez. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.